Please welcome a fighter for America, the senior senator from the state of Massachusetts, Elizabeth Warren.
Hello, Illinois! Oh, wow. It is so good to be here with all of you. And it is great to be here in Springfield with your governor, J.B. Pritzker. You know, I just want to tell you partly why I'm here. I am here to show respect. 2 days after Donald Trump was elected president for the second time, when Democrats all across the country were knocked back on their fannies and they're scrambling to try to figure out what to do, when a lot of folks were running for cover, when freedom and dignity and respect for millions of people seemed to hang by a thread, J.B. Pritzker stood up and delivered a message directly to Donald Trump. He said, "If you come for my people, you come through me." And I thought, that is leadership. You know, J.B. Pritzker was showing some old school loyalty to the people of Illinois and showing that Democrats, or at least some Democrats, don't back down from bullies. So, respect, Governor. You know, it is fashionable these days to say you're a fighter. I get that. And let's be honest, for some people, it's just a show. Maybe even a distraction from the fact that, given the choice, they'd prefer not to rock the boat. But JB is a governor with a backbone, a fighter who is willing to throw a punch if it's needed to get things done. JB is determined to make life better for working people. Go JB. And he's got the receipts to prove it. JB put Illinois on a path to universal pre-K. I am so jealous. JB cracked down on giant corporations taking advantage of people. JB signed the laws to protect the people of Illinois from crypto scams. And JB fights every day to put money back in your pocket. Can I just hear it for the ban on junk fees? Okay, and also the crypto ban. Woo-hoo. So thank you, Governor, for inviting me here today, and thank you for all your work on behalf of the people of Illinois. I also want to give a very special shout-out to your next Lieutenant Governor, Christian Mitchell. Way to go, Christian. Christian has spent his entire life fighting for a fairer Illinois, a community organizer in the Illinois House, as deputy governor. Illinois' next generation of leaders is hard at work, and Christian is leading the way. It's great to see other leaders, other fighters in the room today, and I'm looking for you, Senator Tammy Duckworth. There you are. You all get to see Tammy at home, but I get to watch Tammy up close and personal in the United States Senate. No senator has a stronger voice for our nation's veterans. She has been, most recently, demanding better treatment of our sailors aboard the Abraham Lincoln, pushing hard for an end to Trump's war in Iran. Tammy, we're with you all the way. And that would be enough to make any senator proud. But there's another fight that Tammy has been in that just really takes some calling out. You may remember that President Trump promised to cover IVF for everyone, and now he and Pete Hegseth still haven't made IVF accessible so that military couples can have families. That is wrong. Tammy Duckworth is leading the fight to get this cruel policy reversed and to treat our military with the dignity and the respect they deserve. Tammy, we're with you in that fight, too. Thank you. And one of the main reasons I wanted to be here was just to take a moment to talk about your senior senator, Senator Dick Durbin. Now, I have known Senator Durbin since my previous life when I was a law professor. And I was spending my time ringing the alarm about how families were hanging on by their fingernails. My home state senator at the time, Ted Kennedy, had heard about my work, and so he invites me to come speak to Senate Democrats. They're having a Senate Democratic retreat, and would I come and speak? And I said, sure. Now, you have to understand, I didn't get invited very often to talk to United States senators. Not often. That is polite code for never. I spent my time on teaching and research and numbers and spreadsheets and interviewing people, not on politics. But I figured I'm going to go talk to the Democratic senators. I'm never going to get another chance like this. So I worked on my presentation for weeks. I had charts, I had graphs, I was ready to go, because obviously that's what persuades people. And, okay, I was a little green at this. So I traveled down from Boston. I get in this room, it's nothing but senators, small room, nothing but senators, Democratic senators. And I gave those senators everything I had. I mean, I wound up, I explained credit card scams and the cost of child care and how people were getting cheated on mortgages. I had charts on how families were being pushed into bankruptcy over health care costs. I laid into it. I showed how people with power were hurting American families and how America's once solid middle class was hurtling toward disaster, I say. Okay, I was very worked up. It was all true, but man, I was really into it. And I get to the end, and the senators, there's just dead silence in the room. People are like, whoa. And one by one, they just kind of backed out the door. They just quietly moved away. So I thought, well, I told them anyway. So I put my papers together. And I did wonder, maybe I'd come on a little strong. And then one senator stayed behind, Dick Durbin, and he walked over and he said, "This is bad. How can I help?" A room full of senators. A room full of senators and everybody else out at the snack table. But Dick Durbin stayed to ask, "How can I help?" And that's what he did. And for the next 25 years, Dick and I fought one battle after another. We were always against the CEOs and their army of lawyers and lobbyists. We were always fighting the Republicans, and I'll be frank, half the time we were fighting the Democrats as well. We lost some battles. Don't ask me about them because they are still painful. It still hurts. But we won some, too. Dick Durbin was the original sponsor of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Let's hear it from the CFPB. He fought to make that agency happen, and I will forever be grateful. Thank you, Dick. And that's how I think of Dick Durbin. Year after year, Dick has done the quiet work to try to level the playing field for working families. No fanfare, just the hard blocking and tackling to try to keep Wall Street and special interests from taking over the United States Congress. Thank you for that work, Dick. We're going to miss you in the United States Senate. You know, Illinois holds a very special place in America right now. You all are the ones who have made it clear that when the Trump administration attacks America's families, Illinois will fight back. Makes you special. And we need that now more than ever, because these are not normal times. We are fighting Republicans on two fronts, cost and corruption. Now, when he ran for president, Donald Trump promised he would lower costs on day one. That was his phrase. Do you remember that? Said it every day. He would lower costs on day one. It is now day 569, and costs are up. Help me here. The cost of groceries, up. The cost of housing, the cost of utilities, the cost of health care, the cost of gasoline, the cost of pretty much everything you need to buy. Up, up, up. You know, and at the same time that the costs are going up, the Trump administration puts the capital C in corruption. Donald Trump is the most corrupt president in American history. Those are just the facts. And I'll just pick a few. $1.4 billion in crypto scams, selling access to insider information at $100,000 a pop, a $400 million jet from Qatar. It is a long, long, long list. Even the Wall Street Journal, the damned Wall Street Journal, calls Donald Trump the most corrupt president in history. And they're not saying it like they think it's a good thing. Today, I just want to take 1 minute to draw a straight line between those high costs and Trump's corruption. Let me start with something you may not have seen, because this is part of the problem. I mentioned the highlight reels, right, that lots of people have seen. But here's what's going on, and that is one of the thousands of deals that floats by in the Trump river of sewage. Any of you hear of Capital One? Oh, some of you have Capital One credit cards, right? Let me tell you a little something about Capital One. 7th biggest bank in America. A lot of you have cards. If you don't have cards, I guarantee somebody in your family does, one of your neighbors does, somebody you work with. So back when the CFPB was still allowed to do its job, the CFPB caught Cap One cheating their customers on interest rate calculations. Nice move. Cap One admitted it. They said, yeah, okay, you caught us. So the CFPB worked out a settlement with Cap One, and the idea was the bank is going to return the money they stole from their customers. The position of the CFPB, by the way, was you had their names and addresses to cheat them. You also have their names and addresses to give them the money back. That's how the CFPB operates. So Cap One, they work it all out. Cap One signs the paper saying, yeah, we're going to do this, known as the settlement. All done. Want to know how much it was? $2.2 billion. It's a lot of money to steal. So they agreed in writing they're going to give it back. And then Donald Trump got elected. So Cap One calls her friends in the White House, makes contributions to Trump, and then a magical thing happens. The settlement disappears. Poof. Cap One kept $2.2 billion, and everybody in America who got cheated got nothing. I am in this fight because it is time to put a stop to this open corruption. Families should be getting their money back. Corruption is wrong, and corruption costs you money. Tariffs, a forever war, Trump's crypto scam. It is corrupt, and it is costing the people of Illinois real money. Our job as Democrats is to lower the costs and to end this corruption right now. And let's just do a little finger pointing for a minute, because with Republican majorities in the House and the Senate, Republicans in Congress could put an end to this corruption right now. But where are those Republicans? Are they speaking out? Nah. You know, there's been a medical emergency in the Republican Party. Almost every one of the Republicans in Congress has lost their spine. All they can do is bow down to Donald Trump. So yeah, in Washington, things are pretty bad. And we can whimper, we can whine, or we can fight back. Me, I'm fighting back. Illinois, are you ready to fight back? Oh, let me hear it. Are you ready to fight back against the corruption? Are you ready to fight back against the higher costs? Are you ready to win the midterms, our chance to fight back? There it is. People ask me how I have the energy to get up every day and get in the fight, and my answer is Illinois Democrats. You bet. You give me hope. And one of the biggest reasons, she's right here in this room. Your Lieutenant Governor and your future Senator, Juliana Stratton. This is real hope for what comes next. I love Juliana, and not just because she has a persist tattoo. Ask her about it. It's pretty awesome. I was so proud to endorse Juliana, proud to support her campaign, proud to see her stand up to crypto and APAC and corporate PACs, and proud to see that Illinois is ready to send a strong fighter to the United States Senate. Juliana is a fighter with a vision for our future. Juliana is determined to bring in working people, determined to take on corporate powers that want to rig the system, determined to make government work, not just for a handful at the top, but to make government work for everyone. That's Juliana. Okay, so here's the deal as we think about going forward. As much of a heavy hitter as Juliana is, and Tammy, and as fast as I can run in yoga pants, yes, I am wearing yoga pants to your fancy event. Always got to be ready to move. We need a full bench to take on Trump and the Republicans. We need a strong Democratic Party. Yeah. So let's talk just within the family for a minute here. I recently put $1 million into state Democratic parties. $1 million to help Democrats win. And today I'm announcing, this is breaking news, I'm contributing another $500,000 to elect Democrats in November up and down the ballot. Money into electing a Democratic majority in the Senate, $300,000 to the Senate Democratic Campaign Arm, the DSCC. Now look, I haven't been shy about my criticism of the DSCC meddling in competitive primaries. I think it's wrong for the DS to put a thumb on the scale when Democrats are choosing their nominee. I think it's wrong to line up with big money to drown out grassroots candidates. Wrong, and it weakens us. But I know our job now. Democrats must win the Senate, and I am 100% behind our Democratic nominees everywhere, and I am 100% behind getting them the resources they need to win with. Yep. I'm also sending another $200,000 to the DCCC to help Democrats win the majority in the House. House and Senate, who's ready for Democrats to take over Congress? Me too. And while we're still just talking family here, I'm also sending $100,000 to the Democratic National Committee, the DNC. It is time to stop the hand-wringing and to invest in a key part of our democratic infrastructure. And I am asking others to join me and do the same. So there it is. State candidates, House candidates, Senate candidates, our party, the Democratic Party. Let's be clear-eyed. This midterm is crucial. Democrats must win back power and must put a check on Trump. We must win. So everybody here, take a deep breath and buckle up for the fight ahead. Costs and corruption, costs and corruption. Are you ready for that fight? You ready for that fight? Yeah, all right. I talk about money today because we know we will be outspent by the Republicans' money machine. Outspent by the crypto PACs and big oil and big pharma and big banks. But we also know we don't have to match the Republicans dollar for dollar. We just need enough money to keep our team on the field. And the money I'm talking about today is the money for people like you, the money for the people in this room. It's the money for the organizers, for the phone bankers, for the door knockers. It's about investing in people, investing in these competitive elections. This is how Democrats win. The fight ahead is going to require us to get serious about organizing, to take our A game and double down on it again and again, to wake up each day with the strength to knock on more doors, to make more calls, to talk to our neighbors, and to build the people power we need to win the next election. It is a tough fight, but it is a righteous fight. Things will get tough, and by golly, they will get tough. Republican attacks, oh, they will get ugly. And Trump will do his best to just keep throwing dirt in our eyes. But nevertheless, we will persist. "76 days, 76 days, 76 days until the midterms. Are you in this fight? Oh, are you in this fight? Are you determined to win this fight? With Illinois, we're going to get this done. Thank you, Illinois, for having me.